What is good, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another banger video. Today we have a very cool install. I am super excited for it because, one of my good friends, he had already installed it, and it's crazy how much more power you make out of it. So if you guys can guess what people do to their B58s that just gain instant power by installing this kit, if you know, you know. It is the MHD Flex Fuel Kit. So here I have it right here. About to unbox it for you guys to show you what comes inside this box. Here it is, MHD Flex Fuel Kit. Do a little unboxing for you guys to show you what it comes with. Disclaimer information, and then, wow, it even came with some safety goggles. Here we have the actual Flex Fuel Kit analyzer with all the wiring harnesses and stuff. Comes with a pair of gloves, a handful of black zip ties for you to tuck the wires and hide it underneath the engine bay, and then it comes with the fuel line fittings. So that's all it comes with, and right now it's dark, but tomorrow when I get this thing installed, I'll show you guys my best, or at least I'll try my best to show you guys a step-by-step DIY for you guys that are interested in installing an MHD Flex Fuel Kit.
Good morning, everyone. Happy Thanksgiving. It is officially time for the install. I got up nice and early. It's like 7 a.m. right now. So first things first, gotta disconnect the battery, and then I'll show you guys under the hood and what we need to do there. With the battery disconnected now, get the hood open, like so. Have to remove the engine cover, and then we would have to remove this panel, as well as these two little things. To remove these panels, you just have to twist off 90 degrees, 10mm bolts right there. I actually believe that these two screws back here are actually E18s. I just don't have that socket, so I find that a 14mm actually works. But do this at your own discretion, because if you go too aggressive, you might end up stripping or rounding the bolt. After removing those 4 bolts, the next thing we have to do is remove this piece right here. So there's actually a wire that's tucked in underneath. So I gotta pull that apart, which allows you to pull this thing up. Now we actually have to remove this piece right here so that we can access everything behind there, and this is obviously in the way. And so in order to remove this, there are a ton of 10mm bolts everywhere. So I can see 1, 2, 3, and I'm sure there are more on the other side, so I'll show you guys right now. There are 1, 2, 3, and that's all I see so far. So maybe 6, no. And there's one hidden back here. That's 7. 7 10mm total. Last thing to remove is this soundproof shield. Get this out of here. And after that, you can now see the fuel lines that we will have to disconnect, which is this one right here. How you remove this box is actually you just kind of lift up and it removes that. But then you can see that it's attached to this one hose right here. So be sure to free that before ripping off the cover. The next step is to disconnect this fuel line. But first things first, to be safe, we're gonna put some rags and towels beneath this because fuel will spill out. As you can see, there's this one gray clip. We have to remove this clip first, which seems like we can just use our fingers or just use a pry tool and it should come right off. I'm just using my fingers to push and it already came right off. So don't lose this. Pull it towards you, this part, it kind of like releases a trigger, and then this thing, you push out with it and it should come right out. So let me see if I can try and do it with one hand. There we go. And there's a little bit of fuel spilling out, but that's how we put that rag there. And that's how you do it. After removing the fuel line, we have to unplug this harness here. And how you do that is by, you have to push in this tab right here, but you have to do it on both sides. Push in together and then pull up. It was really hard to film and do this at the same time, but here we have the fitting all connected. Everything snapped into place. Here's the original fuel line that went into the adapter right here. And we have the female and male connectors down here. So everything is fitted very snug. And the easiest way to tell where this thing goes is if we took off this one and it came out of here, we want to find the same type of plug on this new harness, which will obviously plug into the same spot, which is this one right here. So this one will replace this one, and then this one will actually plug into this one. And so that's why they call it a Y connector. So now that we got the Y connector connected, it's basically just wiring now and making sure that everything looks clean and hiding it, zip tying things down. But one crucial step is obviously this thing needs power. So it provided this ground, and I'll show you guys where we need to ground it to. The best thing is if you have a tool like this, a 10mm ratcheting wrench, because if we look right here, this is the bolt that we'll have to loosen, and then we'll slide this right in between. Here you can see there's a gap now, so we'll slide this right in between. Here, got the Y connector connected, got the ground strap connected, not sure if you can see that, and then hose fitting, and then this is where I'm tucking in the CAN bus module. So the wiring is definitely not the best, but after I button everything up, it should be pretty hidden. But yeah, so I'm gonna put everything back together and I'll plug in the battery and see if everything lights up. I just plugged in the battery, and as you can see, this module lights up with all 4 colors, and that's a good sign. So because those lights are all on, that lets me know that there's power going to the module and that everything should be good to go. So I'm gonna take 10-15 minutes off camera and just button everything up. And after that, we'll get inside the car and start flashing it to the flex fuel map.
So here I'm in the car now, have the MHD adapter connected to my phone. So here we're going to go to Flash MHD map, multi-map. I'm going to go in stage 2 because I already have catalyst downpipe. And then here for all the slots, we're going to keep it at 93 because that's what I have here in Connecticut. But this all depends on where you are. It obviously stage 2 plus if you have a upgraded high pressure fuel pump such as the TU for the Gen 1s or any kind of Dorsch high pressure fuel pumps. So after you do that, press here on like the little triangle. So once you get to this part, you can go into options and mess around with your burbles, check off anything that you want. But because I've been running MHD already, I don't need to adjust any of this. I like my settings the way they are. So if I want to start running E, all I have to do is press map right, let the car flash, and it's ready to go.